GYMDAD Fitness. Today we have the weigh-in for hyperdose. We could have, oh god, just inhaled a bunch of it. Oh man, the hyperdose, another one of those little Smash AMF, you know, sticky label kind of feeling product. There's got that same kind of looking label as like a Firestorm or something like that. You know, with these ones, I almost thought about skipping the weigh-in because we know they're all going to probably be like fairly brutal, some worse than others. IR8 being the absolute worst, and then the best so far, maybe Temu Venom for flavor. And this one, and also the grammage is important too, so that's why I didn't end up skipping the weigh-in for this one. So we got one scoop. So one scoop comes in, I got my scale right here to the side of me, 9.05. I'll just leave my camera though, I was gonna show you guys believe me. So today, I'm going to run this thing at a little bit more. We're gonna go, I ran it once so far already, and I ran it like around 13, I think it was like 12, so I think I'm just gonna push it to about 13 today. So 13.36, and it seems like 13-ish has kind of been my range for most of these pre's. So I had an insane workout on this thing at 12, so I really didn't want to push it too much far. The mix is blue, like that. It's berry blast, so at least they got the flavoring right, unlike IR8 that claims strawberry, but then you dump it in there and it's like a greenish blue. I don't know, maybe the second batches weren't like that. Maybe it's just the first run. But is this going to be the signature flavoring system that these guys are so notably known for? When I say these guys, I mean like the manufacturing plant or whoever the hell's designing these labels, because they're all different names, but they all different names, different label claims, but same type of feel, style, touch of the bottle. Some claim 2 amino, some don't. Some claim 1,3, some don't. It is very bad. It's not as brutal as IR8. It's probably like a touch better, but not a little bitter aftertaste hit me there, but not all that much better. Honestly, I think the Smash Mixed Berry was better. Now the Tiger's Blood flavor is brutal for those, but that's a lot about flavor, but it's more of almost entertainment purposes for this brand, because it just cracks me up how you can, I mean, it's become like their signature MO almost. When you shoot it back and you taste that Smash AMF kind of feel, kind of vibe, you know you're in for a treat. But anyway, Hyperdose. This one actually does have a fairly accurate scooper. We saw like his claim 10. I think it said like 9-ish, but obviously these are these pre-workouts that you want to make sure you have a gram scale. You don't want to fuck around and go taking way too much. Or I know that Venom was coming at like 6 grams, and I know that the owner of this is highstempreworkouts.com is where this one comes from, and I know he was kind of iffy on those two if they were really that great, but he was just kind of shooting back a scoop and going. And then I told him to weigh that thing out and try it, and I think it changed the experience drastically. But Hyperdose was very pumped because this is his favorite out of all of these ones, and so I was just excited to see this one in action. But let's go ahead and we'll get back into the label breakdown and the effects at the home base, obviously, because we get a lift in, but sometimes I like to hit the label, but we'll hit that shit later, back when I got my my backdrop in my studio there. But all right, we'll see you there. Time to get into the label breakdown and effects of Hyperdose. Before I get started, I got this shirt in the Steel Asylum, or Asylum, Steel Asylum, the ones that made. Let me find their pre. Or here it is. Makers of Insanity. I bought their protein, their BCAAs, their greens, and so they sent me a free shirt. And this thing is freaking badass. Looks like something like back in the day when they had those shirts at like Walmart, the wolves and the lions and the tigers on them. So I gotta rock this. I gotta give those guys a shout out. But check out their clothing line and their products, because it's freaking awesome. I love it. It's right up my alley. But let's get into the label breakdown and effects of Hyperdose. So first, label breakdown. Some of these ones people just ignore for these types of products, but this one I think has some truth to it. Some of these ones are kind of like that. I almost felt like Firestorm had a little bit of truth to it. Obviously, Smash AMF, Game On were a joke. Ashes, yeah, maybe. I think Ashes claimed a lot of bold things on there, and Timu Venom and IRA, yeah, they both seem like they could possibly have what they have in it. But then again, IRA would just kind of mimic the other IRA, so I don't think so. I think there's a few things that were true, but for the most part, it was a bunch of crap too. But let's get into this. So they're the same, like kind of breakdown: vitamin C, D, B3, magnesium as the other ones, and then they also have kind of the same like performance style. It's the citrulline 3 grams, citrulline malate 1 gram, beta alanine 1 gram, creatine HCl 1 gram, tyrosine 500 milligrams, taurine 350 milligrams, carnitine 350 milligrams. And then we get into like the stim package here. We got caffeine 350, norvaline 150, DMHA 120, DMAA 50 milligrams, green tea extract 50 milligrams, synephrine HCl 50, hordenine 50 milligrams, grapeseed extract 20 milligrams, L-theanine 20 milligrams. Methyl phenylthrene HCl 10 milligrams, black pepper extract for absorption 10 milligrams, N-methylene HCl 5 milligrams, neurogenine 5 milligrams, and then yohimbine HCl 2.5. Overall, let's get into the effects of this product. So some of these things on this label I think could also possibly be in here. We don't have to get into the detail, but as far as the stim package goes, the pumps, performance, whatever, this isn't a pump performance product. You don't want to stack this with something. But the effects are freaking outstanding. This one is a builder. This one takes about 30 to 40 minutes to like really reach the peak. The urgency and energy kind of come in within the 15 to 20 minutes. This isn't like the sense of urgency in this isn't as aggressive as like at IR8. I think to me, IR8 was the most aggressive, like urgency and bubble wise. This one comes in, you same kind of like you still get that head tingle going on this one. So that DMA, that 1.3, man, it feels pretty damn like it's similar to what those OG products that claimed it felt like. You get that head buzz, that tingling feeling going on in your head at about the 30-40 minute mark. And then this one like has this like other factor of it of like it's not like anxious. It definitely is energized. It slaps, it hits you hard, but it's nothing over the top. It kind of like not want to say puts you at ease, but there's like this 2-amino kind of vibe to it. This is one of these ones I think might have 2-amino in it as well. They might have whatever IR8 and Venom has, but less of it, which makes, because they only claim 50 on the DMAA. So I don't know, maybe whatever they use for that bubble like feel, they did use less of it. They put some more of this 2-amino source, wherever the hell they're sourcing any of their stuff from, in it as well, because it has this like euphoric effect. When I ran this thing on Sunday, like I mentioned in my last review, we just brought a new member to the family, got a lot of changes going on. I usually try to avoid pre's like this in that situation because you never know when they're going to backfire. You usually take something that can't miss, like a 2-amino smooth hitter or a low caffeine type product. And my friend Zach, who had ran this one, got it from HeistonPreworkouts.com, told me that he took 15 and this thing was a fun ride. They said very euphoric. He said this is your style of pre, and so like his breakdown of it kind of like gave me a little bit of peace of mind to run it myself. Not like I'm gonna have my own damn opinion, but it just made me like know what type of pre we're dealing with here, because I wasn't ready to go on a smash AMF type run with the headspace I was in. I was, it's just, you ever change, it's part of life. Like, when changes happen in the family and work, stuff like that, we all kind of, we're a little on edge and adjusting still. So, so when those kind of situations happen, you kind of have to be aware and adjust your pre's. Like I remember when I first moved, I kind of went on a run of like lower caffeine level, removed alpha yohimbine, because alpha yohimbine's got a tendency to backfire on me sometime if like, I'm not on the proper headspace. And so you kind of have to adjust your pre's based upon that. But anyway, I went ahead and ran this thing on Sunday, and it completely flipped the script. Like I went from being like overwhelmed, like I'm not sure, I might be in over my fucking head with all these dang kids, to like, let's get this done. We can figure this out. There's an answer. There's always an answer. And it kind of like changed my whole demeanor. The workout was insane. Trained for, it was a longer workout because I was trying to squeeze 3 in from being gone from the gym so long. And it had the legs to get through it. And then afterward, it was amazing. I went to pick my kids up at my aunt's house, and I was feeling good. I was like optimistic,
happy, like talking to them, wanting to hang out for a little while. And I always am pretty much like that. But I'm just saying, with the headspace I was in before, it completely flipped the script my whole entire day. And we've all had these pre's before that do that to us. Some pre's, it's like, oh man, that pre felt amazing, but man, I was coming in, it was a Friday, I was off work, it was a 3-day weekend, I was already buzzing. Was it the pre or is it my life situation? And this is when you know it's a damn good pre when the thing hits no matter what. That's words from the famous Fornius, legendary Fornius. He says, good pre's always hit. Some pre's, pretty decent pre's have amazing hits sometimes, and sometimes I miss. But he said like top shelf pre's, damn good pre's, they always hit. And this one hit no matter what for me. Today was a whole different situation. I've had a few days under me now with the kids situation, more chill, more relaxed. So I needed to pick me up, and it was training at that bring your own juice time period, that 9 p.m. time period, and boy did this thing get going. I actually took this one in the car before going into the gym, like you saw in the flavor review weigh-in stuff, and so this thing took a little bit to kick in. The first half of the workout, the atmosphere of the gym kind of soaked me in. It was like, the quiet, chill atmosphere, a lot of the old folks there, stuff like that. But then I was kind of questioning, like, maybe he's just not going to have enough get up today. And boy, it freaking went. And this one hit at the 45-minute mark and just kept freaking. And it was like, let's fucking go. Let's move some weight. It's back day. We're killed it. And it went way too long. This one is significant others are not going to like this pre workout because you're going to want to train your ass off for like whatever you normally go for. Add 15 to 20 in on it. This is one of these ones you're gonna feel so good. You might even train an ab or two afterward. You might hit all of them, man, because it is awesome. It's one that has legs. It runs. It's euphoric. It's happy. It's buzzing. It's in the zone. It's tunnel vision. It's everything, man. And I feel like I've said this about all these pre's, but they all feel like I honestly can firmly say that these things all hit. And kind of where this one fits in with the other pre-workouts of this category. So Game On to me is the most like little bit of everything. It's user friendly. It's got a pretty solid focus, pretty solid euphoria, pretty solid bubble. But like no one thing stuck out like more than the others for me. And but it was very like it was like someone like compared to if you missed out on the Smash experience and wanted something with a little more euphoria, a little less focus, but Smash was too intense, and you want to take the full serving, Game On's your choice. But this one's more on the euphoric side. If you're someone that likes a good buzz, a smooth, you don't want like crazy sense of urgency, this is a hell of a pre. And I took this thing at 13 grams and then 14.5 today, just to give you a reference. And IR8 was the most bubble vision, most bubble like vibe with the sense of urgency. IR8, to me, the IR8 was the hardest hitting bubble style, like closest thing to a crack purple style pre. Venom was a notch down, same category as that one. Ashes was just its own animal. Something else is going on in Ashes, man. That thing was a beauty. And then this one is like IR8 and Venom that reduced the bubble and then shoot up the euphoria. And then Game On was a nice balance of all of them and just a little more user friendly. So Hyperdose, this is a freaking sweet product. I'm really excited to talk about this one. Obviously, you can tell sometimes you can hear the shakiness in my voice. It's not because I'm nervous, because I've filmed almost 100 and I think I'm over 120, 130. I don't know how many reviews I've done now, but like I don't get fucking nervous or anything. It's just like a school project almost. It's talking to my friends when I picture when I'm doing these things. So anyway, you can kind of tell in my voice how much I love this product, and I had a blast. I trained forever. Hit back today. Sick pump. I'll put some shows on the screen. I'm not going to give you guys a highlight reel, but sometimes you like to see the pump in action. Stacked it with Vaso Gold by Black Flag Sups, and it was outstanding. But all in all, if you like this product, highstempreworkouts.com, you might as well just go ahead and snatch a shit ton of these things, because who knows how long they're going to be around for. I have no idea if they're even supposed to be selling these things online. Who knows? Who the frick knows in this industry? So check out that website. Use the GYMDAD code. He's also sending hitter samples with all GYMDAD code uses, and you're not going to want to miss the boast on the dose here, because this thing is a freaking high flying bottle rocket to the sky euphoric ride. But like, subscribe, catch you on the next review.